Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today, we're diving into today's explainer, vagal resonance, the neuroscience of the 11-minute Om. We're going to literally break down the concrete biology of what happens inside your brain and your body when you engage in this ancient sound practice. No fluff, just the science. Let's get right into it.
So, have you ever actually stopped and wondered why people have been chanting Om for literally thousands of years? I mean, humans pass down a lot of habits, right? But very few things survive across millennia quite like this one single specific syllable. Is it just a cultural tradition, maybe a psychological placebo? Or is there a deeper mechanical reason why countless generations have relied on this exact sound to find clarity and peace?
Well, what's genuinely fascinating here is the massive paradigm shift we're seeing right now. We aren't just relying on ancient texts or anecdotal evidence to answer that question anymore. Modern research, using some incredibly sophisticated biological monitoring, has actually revealed the concrete biology behind the chant. We finally have the hard, scientific data to back this practice up. We can literally look under the hood of the human body and map out exactly why this specific sound makes us feel the way it does. It's mind-blowing.
All right, let's trace this biological chain reaction. Everything starts with the pronunciation itself. When you chant you're not just making noise, you're generating a continuous, long humming sound. And that sound creates gentle, sustained physical vibrations that resonate right through your throat, your chest, and your skull. It's basically an internal acoustic massage. Now, here's the kicker. Those specific vibrations hit the vagus nerve. If you didn't know, the vagus nerve is one of the longest, most crucial nerves in your entire body. It's essentially this massive information superhighway connecting your brain to your major organs. And when those physical vibrations stimulate the vagus nerve, it acts as a physiological trigger to activate your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay, so what does that actually mean for you? Well, the parasympathetic nervous system is often called the body's rest and relax mode. Think of it as the physiological brake pedal to that frantic fight-or-flight stress response that, let's be honest, we spend way too much of our modern lives stuck in. When you stimulate the vagus nerve and activate this rest and relax mode, you are actively telling your body at a deep biological level that it is safe. It's safe to power down the alarms and begin repairing and calming itself.
And the immediate, measurable physical results of hitting that brake pedal are absolutely profound. The data shows that when the vagus nerve is stimulated by the Om chant, your breathing automatically shifts. It gets slower and it gets deeper. Your heart rate follows suit, becoming much more stable and rhythmic. But crucially, your hormones shift too. We see a significant decrease in cortisol. Now, cortisol is that notorious stress hormone, so actively lowering it is just a massive win for your overall health. And as a result of all these physical shifts, the mind naturally becomes calmer and a lot more focused. So you aren't just imagining that you feel better, your entire internal chemistry is literally shifting towards stability. But the evidence doesn't stop at your heart rate or your hormones. Brain imaging studies completely back up this profound shift. When scientists actually put people into fMRI machines and track the blood flow in their brains while they chant Om, they see reduced activity in the areas linked to stress and mind wandering. Simultaneously, they see a big boost in activity in the regions that handle attention, emotional regulation, and deep relaxation. You're not just zoning out. You are actively rewiring your brain's immediate focus from a state of scattered anxiety directly into a state of regulated calm. To really visualize what this brain imaging data is telling us, think of your stressed brain exactly like a smartphone that has dozens and dozens of apps running in the background. We all know how that feels, right? The processor gets super hot, the phone gets sluggish, and the battery just drains incredibly fast. That's your mind constantly wandering, worrying, and multitasking. Chanting Om is basically the neurological equivalent of swiping up and closing all those unnecessary background apps. It quiets the mental chatter, stops the battery drain, and immediately improves your sense of clarity and processing speed. It's a true hard reset for your brain.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but I definitely don't have hours a day to just sit on a mountaintop. Well, here's the best part. Research suggests you can start unlocking these profound neurological and biological shifts by practicing for just 11 minutes a day. 11 minutes! Just think about how fast 11 minutes goes by when we're endlessly scrolling on our phones or stressing out over an email. Repurposing just 11 minutes of your day to purposefully vibrate that vagus nerve is an incredibly low barrier to entry for an enormously high return on investment.
So what exactly does that return on investment look like? By adopting the super simple 11-minute habit, the research points to some very tangible, real-world payoffs.
You actively reduce stress and anxiety by consistently lowering that cortisol. You improve your concentration because, remember, you've closed all those mental background apps. You enhance your overall mindfulness and promote emotional balance because your brain is getting daily practice at staying in those emotional regulation centers. On top of all that, this daily physiological reset supports much better sleep at night and helps you create a reliable baseline sense of inner calm. It is literally compounding interest for your nervous system.
Now, as enthusiastic as I am about this data, and it is awesome data, it's totally vital to remember that chanting Om is a complementary practice. Yes, it beautifully supports relaxation and overall well-being, but it does not, and obviously should not, replace professional medical care for serious physical or mental health conditions. It's simply a fantastic, scientifically backed tool to add to your daily wellness toolkit, to be used right alongside the advice and care of your healthcare providers. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want you to remember this. Sometimes the most powerful changes really do begin with a single sound. The next time you find yourself with just 11 quiet minutes, I challenge you to actually try this. Sit comfortably, take a deep breath, and create that ooh-wom vibration. Are you going to let your mind stay cluttered like a drained battery, or will you use your own voice to literally rewire your nervous system for peace? Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you next time as we continue to explain the fascinating world around us.